Hello, everyone. My guest today is Jack Beckor. He's building a company called Uptime.app. If you want to follow along, it's a 5-minute knowledge hacking app. Jack, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah. Hi, Nathan. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. What does 5-minute knowledge hacking app mean?
So very interesting. So what we do, Nathan, is we take knowledge from all different sources. So we take from books, we take from courses, we take from documentaries, and we hack that knowledge to condense it down into something a lot smaller, into a unique format that we've created that gives you the whole essence of that book or that course or that documentary in 5 minutes.
And how do you know if it's working or not? So there's a bunch of metrics you could track your business on: number of downloads, number of consumed pieces of content, number of active users. What's your North Star sort of metric?
So the most important thing is that people like what you're doing.
Okay, but how do you measure that? So what's the metric?
So the metrics we use internally, we look at hacks per DAU. We look at how people are engaging with our platform. We have some internal metrics around what we want to do around downloads and users, but actually the most important thing for us is people on the platform. When we look at it, we can see already, because we're still very early. We really only launched later in this year, February time. And we're getting around people completing about 8 minutes a day average, which puts us actually probably close to TikTok territory.
Okay, so hold on. So you said your number one metric is number of hacks per daily active user. So what define to me what a hack is?
For us, an ideal thing.
Yeah, if I could, let me just finish the question there. Can you define what a hack is?
Yeah, a hack is a 5-minute summary. So we call it 5 minutes because each of our hacks will take you about 5 minutes to go through. Okay.
Great. And you were going to add something on?
So I was just going to say that, so we're looking at what we can do, hacks per DAU. Ideally, we'd want people to build a daily habit using our product on a daily basis. So
how many are doing that currently? How many daily active users?
So right now we've got about, on a monthly basis, about 35,000 active users.
And how do you define active? Do they just have to log in, or do they have to consume a certain amount of content?
No, they have to do a piece of content.
Okay, so at least 35,000 people in the past 30 days have consumed at least one 5-minute hack. That's a book review, a podcast review, something like that.
Correct.
Okay, interesting.
Or a course or a documentary, yeah.
Okay, how are you getting, where are you getting all this content from? Are you paying someone else to curate it for you, or you guys have your own big internal team doing this? How do you get it?
So part of the things we do is make sure we get the right content. So that's part of what we do. And we take that content and we use a mix of machine learning and human curation to bring the whole thing together. So it's a whole different things: process, machine learning, human curation to bring a hack. We do it that way so we can scale the business. So right now we can do a hack in about a couple of hours, whereas someone else would have to read a whole book, do the whole thing, etc. So we have a process that enables us to scale that.
So tell me about that process, right? So everyone knows the book, The Intelligent Investor, one of Warren Buffett's favorite books. It's in your screenshot in terms of what you guys recommend. Walk me through the process you use on that book, where you don't actually have to read it, but you're able to pull out the top insights.
So we have we can take the text, we have our machine learning, we go through what that is. We also cross-reference that with a whole bunch of other things. I'm not going to go into each part of that detail, but we go across the web and across a whole bunch of other sources about where that book contextualizes and sits. And we bring that all together to find what are the key points, the key elements, and what are the things that we need to take out. And it's then reviewed by someone who's actually read the book, and we'll check and double check what's in that and
how do you find the person that read the book?
We have a system that we've created that enables us to do that.
Well, I assume that, but what is the system? How do you find that person?
We have people that can go out and look at people with subject matter expertise in different areas, and we build a team of people who can do that.
So I guess who was the person that did the final review on The Intelligent Investor?
I don't know the actual person who did that, but it would have been someone within our team.
So it is someone who's full-time on your team.
Yeah.
Got
Who
it.
have done the final review? Yes, absolutely.
How many people are on your team?
We have 45 people in the business.
45. Okay, you just got going, so you must have raised a bunch of capital to get this thing going. Is that right?
We raised 20 million.
Okay, so 20 million bucks. And you must have some background that enabled you to go out and tell the story and raise 20 million off the bat. Yeah. Tell me more. I'm missing a part of the story here.
So Nathan, I've done this before, so this is not the first time that we're doing something. The last business I did was in the HR space. It was in the well-being space, and we did mental, physical, social, and financial well-being.
What was the name of that company?
It was called LifeWorks.
Okay.
And we built that business over 4 years. We touched 13 million employees and had 100 million ARR revenue, which we sold in 17. How
much had you guys raised to build the 100 million ARR?
We raised at the time 7 million GBP.
Okay, so pretty capital efficient then. Was this traditional SaaS margin where of the 100 million it had 85% margin, or did you have a bunch of people you had to pay out a big cost of goods sold?
We were services, so we had both people and SaaS.
I see. Got it. So services company in the HR tech space. You guys, I'm reading as we're interviewing here, right? So it looks like this happened. Mornell Sheppel Inc. acquired that company in 2018.
Correct.
Yeah. Why did you guys sell that company? Why was it the right time to sell?
Well, it wasn't about the right time to sell. Actually, we were just gearing up for our next phase of growth. And when we went out to the market, everyone loved the company so much. No one wanted just to put a slug of money in just to help grow the business. They wanted to acquire the whole company.
Mm-hmm.
So we just went and sold.
And did you sell? And what was your role there? By the way, I'm reading Jamie True was the CEO. Some other folks. What was your role?
I was a CFO at that business.
I see. Okay, so CFO at that company. You guys raised 7 million. You grow GMV. You end up selling. Now, did you sell for more than 1x of that 100 million GMV or under?
More. Yeah,
more.
We sold for 325 million.
That's great. Okay, so so how this is relevant because there are a lot of SaaS founders or will be SaaS founders listening right now that start off in services or agencies, and they're always wondering how to value their agency when they go to sell it to move into SaaS. So what multiple, if you sold for 325, what multiple is that on your, how was it valued? Was it top line services revenue, bottom line profit?
So actually it was a mix of both. Okay. So we were a profitable business, but we chose to sacrifice profit for growth, to really make that go on steroids. But when it came to the purchaser would be, anyone looking at the business would be looking at, well, you're a mix of tech and services. So your tech will probably be valued at blah and your services X. So we'll come up with a multiple. I think in our case, it was 3.5 times.
Got it. So the blended multiple is 3.5 times bottom line trailing EBITDA?
Of top line revenue.
Forward looking or trailing 12 months? Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. That's not horrible at all. Very cool. Okay. So this is why you are now able to go launch Uptime app, tell a great story here and raise 20 million off the bat. Now, do you have co-founders at the company?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. How many?
I have Jamie, it's 2 co-founders. Jamie, who I've actually worked with for 20 years. So we did LifeWorks together. We did a number of other businesses together as well.
So it's just you and Jamie are the shareholders right now, along with the 20 million investor.
And then we have Patrick, who is also a co-founder of the business. So Patrick, he's had a long career at Google, most recently at Facebook, where he had a very senior exec role in EMEA around growing their partnerships and for Instagram and Instagram TV and Facebook Watch. So he's joined us as well as a co-founder in the business.
And so the 3 co-founders?
3 co-founders.
Where does James True come into the picture?
So James is a partner. He is the guy I've worked with for 20 years, and we did LifeWorks together, and we're doing Uptime together.
But you don't call him a co-founder?
Call him a co-founder. Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. So there's 4 co-founders.
No, 3. James and Jamie
are the same person.
Same person.
Perfect. Got it. So 3 co-founders there. Now, did you guys just go, you know what? We don't want to argue. We're just going to go 33, 33, 33. How do you have the equity conversation? It's always tough.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think the most important thing about any equity conversation is that you're fair to everyone involved. And that's the most important thing. And you have to also recognize what each person brings to the table.
Yep.
The other thing about that is timing. Timing is also very relevant. So it depends at what time people get involved in the business as well. So someone getting involved a lot later will probably have less of equity than someone coming in right at the start.
Yep. Okay, so you just get going this year. You're partnering up with your buddies again, which is great. You guys raised $20 million. You can go conquer the world here. You're already at 35,000 monthly active users. You're helping people, again, consume stuff, whether it's a documentary on YouTube or a famous book or anything else. You're helping them consume, or a podcast episode, consume this stuff very quick. What's the revenue plan? How do you make money here?
So revenue is subscription.
Consumers or companies buying this for their employees.
So consumers, principally. I would imagine if companies wanted it, we wouldn't say no. But principally, we're going after consumers.
And have you launched pricing yet, or are you still pre-revenue?
We just launched pricing, so it's very early days for us. So we've just started going out with a subscription product. Early indications look positive, very positive for us.
We have to celebrate if you've passed your first customer, though. Did you have your first paying customer?
We have, yes, we do.
There we go, first paying customer. Okay, and so what are they paying?
We had a founder offer for people who came onto our platform.
Okay.
So right now, if you came onto our platform, you could get a 50% discount. So usually it's $79.99
a month or a year? Okay,
a year. So you could get it for $35.99 a year.
Okay. Right. Okay, got it. So we're talking like, it's like $650 a month sort of deal. Will be full price.
Yeah, full price.
Yep. Okay. How did you come up with pricing? There's a lot of people, they don't know how to launch the pricing page. It's like a guess.
It's really hard. You know, Nathan, it's not like, oh, boom, here we go, pricing. We did a lot of research around pricing. We looked at a lot of different businesses to see what they're doing. We also spoke to both Apple and Google around pricing. And one of the key things I would say is you have to test. Because you need to know where your price value point is as well. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is testing pricing.
And so how will you go about it? Are you using any interesting softwares to test that stuff dynamically, or are you just manually hard coding this stuff?
Yeah, we do use software.
Who do you use, out of curiosity?
You're asking the wrong person.
Fair.
I do know that we probably use about 50 different software platforms.
I believe it.
Within the business to help us grow, and I think in some areas it's probably even more. So, But yeah, we use a lot of different third-party software platforms to help us with that.
Let me get a sense of growth. We know you're at 35,000 MAU right now, but talk to me. June's about to wrap up here. How many? I guess the right question is, we'll sort of go down the funnel here. How many total downloads did you guys get on the app in June?
So we did, just so you know, within the first 100 days of launching, we got 100,000 signups.
100,000 downloads of the app?
100,000 signups, not downloads.
Why would those be different?
Because someone who downloads doesn't necessarily sign up. So
how many total downloads, so we can understand how many with the conversion?
Okay. I don't have that number right now. But it would have been higher than the 100,000.
Got it. What would you be, based on what you know from other industries, Google, et cetera, what would be a healthy conversion rate from a download to an actual sign up?
From download to sign up, I would say healthy is about 70% sign up.
70?
70.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Why would someone download but then not sign up? What's the friction?
I don't get that. I don't get that either, Nathan.
Yeah.
But people do.
Interesting. Okay. So
some people, I think they feel they don't want to register for a product. Some people will have different reasons. I don't know. Okay.
So how many new signups will you add in June?
It's a very good question. I think we will probably, right now, I think we'll probably add about 15,000, maybe 20, something like that.
And what's the biggest issue right now with converting 100,000 of these signups? Like you have a drop off, right? 35,000 are the only still active ones, the MAU number you gave me. So there's, you're losing 60, what is that, 65K there.
Yeah,
How do you re-engage?
conversion, right? Conversion rate.
Correct. My question to you is that, like, what do you have to do to get more of those signups to stay active, to be included in your weekly and your monthly active user number?
Have a great product experience.
Mm-hmm. Why are they dropping off currently? How do you get any feedback from people that stop using you? Do you have any way to do that?
No, not right now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, cool. So got it. So folks is scaling. So you have your first. How many total customers do you have right now that took advantage of the founder plan?
So we could, because we've just been 100 days since we launched. We have.
Well, I know you're early. Yeah, and we know you're early. I assume it's a small number of experience.
It's really early. Yeah.
So how many? You're past one, but you're still early. So I'm not expecting a massive number, but I am curious.
Oh, we've got several thousand people who've subscribed.
They're paying customers.
Yeah.
Can you break 10,000 subscribers this year? Paying subscribers, you think?
I think we'll easily do that.
Interesting. So how do you manage cash? Right, you've hired up. You're hiring ahead of growth, and the growth is coming now. It's a lagging indicator. It's coming behind that growth. Do you go raise another round? Early next year.
We will be raising another round early next year. Yeah, for sure. That will help us with growth. There's a lot that we need to do. Growth with product, with languages, with different territories as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot that.
Yep. Do you guys think, obviously in SaaS, whether it's really consumer or B2B, the magic number is that $1 million run rate. Do you guys think you can get to that by the end of this year, or at least maybe early next year?
Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. It might be too early because we started later in this year. So I don't know if we'll get there.
Yep. I mean, I have you right now at, a couple thousand customers, call it maybe 5,000-6,000 at 50% of an $80 ACV, right? That puts you guys at something like 15 or 16,000 bucks into at least a divert like SaaS revenue right now per month. So it's a nice chunk of capital right out of the gate to sort of prove some of your points.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Are they churning? Do people stick?
So far, people have stuck. We haven't seen much churn at all.
So when did the first person start paying? What month?
In May.
Okay, so there's really only been like 30 to 60 days here. So
we haven't had enough time to really.
Yeah. What would be a warning sign for you? So if you get the June cohort data and X% churned in June who signed up in May, what would be a worrisome number?
I think the worry would be if our actives are going down. That would be a big for us. Actually, really, we just care about growth and ensuring that the cohorts are going up.
Yep.
It's really about stickiness on the product, people liking what you're doing and coming back, building a habit.
Yep.
Every day, getting 5 minutes. Get your 5-minute hack a day, Nathan. That's what you need.
Yep, I hear you. Okay, last question before we raise up. People always, valuations on first round, it's a combination of things that are not science. It's very much art. You guys had a great background. You probably had much more leverage than most of my listeners, but just help me understand how you thought about negotiating the valuation on the first round, pre-everything, pre-MVP, pre-revenue.
Yeah, it's really about having a track. The bigger the track record you have, the higher the number you can go. And that's it. That's really what it's down to.
Yep.
That's really what it's down to.
And most people on that first raise are selling between sort of 10 and 20% of the business. Were you guys sort of in that range?
Yeah, most people would be 10 and 20% of the business. Yeah.
And were you guys in that range?
We were in that range.
Okay, great. Very cool. All right, man, let's wrap up here. Jack with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book?
What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building uptime?
Favorite?
Online tool for building uptime?
Google Workspace.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
Probably about 6.
Okay, and situation, married, single, kids?
Married.
Any kiddos? No kids, okay.
Kiddos, doggos.
How old are you, Jack?
Sorry?
How old are you?
52.
Last question, what's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
It's a very good question. I think I knew it all at 20, and now I still think I know it all.
Guys, there you have it. Uptime app. They came out of the gates blazing, raised 20 million bucks, sold 10 to 20% of the business to do that. They're trying to help consumers go in and engage every day to get bites of information out of their favorite books, documentaries, etc., but much faster. They've got 35,000 monthly active users, meaning they come in and engage and download at least one sort of summary per month. They have over 100,000 signups over their first 60 days here. They've got several thousand people, but less than 10,000 paying $80 for the year, but at a 50% discount for that early tranche. And they're hoping to hit that $1 million run rate here in the next 12 months before going out for another round of capital early next year. We'll see what happens. Jack, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.